Brothers and sisters, welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna talk about SUDA format. SUDA in Italian means sweat. And I'm gonna make you sweat because there are some amazing texts that you might take in consideration for the upcoming format. So let's start with Tenyi Swordsoul. Tenyi Swordsoul got some amazing support. We got the new Tenyi Spirit Tsuruya. It's a very powerful extender. It's not only that. We got Tenyi Spirit Mula Adara, which is the new synchro which adds a generic field spell from your deck to your hand. It's such a powerful card, and I saw that in the OCG they are searching Necrovalley. Now, I don't want to say that Necrovalley is gonna be made, I'm just saying it's a generic search for field spells. And for my Master Duel enjoyer, Pedula put an amazing picture of Village with a sound music in the background. No spell for you. Welcome to the village. No spell for you. The deck is not solved yet. I tested quite a little bit of options for this deck. I'm gonna give it a solid B. A solid B because right now there are other meta decks that are more popular among the competitive scene. And we're gonna talk about those as well. So for Tenyi Swordsoul, I think a solid B is okay for now, until I get to test more the archetype. Talking about Ryu-Ge Warzone. Now Ryu-Ge Warzone, in my opinion, is one of the most broken cards I ever read. The issue is if the options that this card offers are available in the Yu-Gi-Oh pool. This card is for sure a +2 and it's searchable from 6 different cards, 7 if you count Terraforming. And it says when this card is activated, you can take 1 Dinosaur, 1 Sea Serpent and 1 Worm Monster, you keep 1 in hand, you send 1 in the graveyard and you banish the other. And there are different options for dinosaurs in order to banish them and get plus, like for example Rex, right? There are options for Vermamos that you can keep in hand or in the graveyard, such as Adara, Ashuna. And there are options for Sea Serpents, but usually Sea Serpents you will keep it in hand. A nice dinosaur that I was testing was Carbonetto, because Carbonendon and Ashuna are actually full combo. The downside of this card is that you are locked in those 3 archetypes and Dragon for the rest of the tour. I think it's something that I want to explore because it's such an interesting card and I love those kind of interesting cards. Moving on, Gladiator Beast. Gladiator Beast also got some support, even though I don't think it solved the issues of the deck. Didn't test this archetype enough, but I think I can understand when a deck works or not in the grand scheme of things. And Gladiator Beast Gistel is the best card right now that we got in SUDA for the archetype. This card is very good for the archetype, but it's concerning because unfortunately there is a better battle phase deck. And now, Pedula, I want you to put a solid and warm song with a Chundra in the background. Something, you know, like something light. I need like a romantic music, you know? Like, you know, like, yeah, a romantic music. So, for Gladiator Beast, I will give it a C. Runic White Forest. We got the new Azamina. The new Azamina White Forest, which is, you know, kinda broken if we had original. But unfortunately, again, like the deck, first of all, it's Runic, not that good, right? Right now, the Runic strategy does not perform very well into the current metagame. I would give it a solid C. I don't think Runic is the deck to go. For Sky Striker, I'll give another C. Even D, actually. No, D maybe just unplayable. We're gonna keep C for something that that's remotely fun. I don't find Sky Striker fun myself, but maybe someone, an enjoyer, can have fun during locals. Millennium. Millennium is, I mean, I don't want to play 5 pieces of Exotic. It sounds crazy to me. But we're gonna keep it as... Oh my god, it sounds so bad. Okay, I'm gonna keep it as C. Like, it has to be literally unplayable for me to put it at D. Sprite Frog, another solid D deck. Snake Eye, Azamina, Finsmith, Kashtira. Now, even though we lost Original, I saw still some, you know, hybrid variants of this deck list, and I didn't like it. I'm sorry. For all the Snake Eye enjoyers, yeah, the stock went down. For Kashtira, again, if you want to play a shifter deck, there is just a better shifter deck right now. Malice. Plant Link. Plant Link will be always a B. Even a C, to be honest, but I'll keep it a B because I'm European. Azamina, Finsmith, Chimera, Illusion. I think this deck list, I mean, it has so many pushes. It's a solid combo deck. The thing that scares me the most is the amount of flex spot. So that's why I will just give it a solid B. Pindling Yubel. Pindling Yubel. I think it's a B. The Chamis hurts this deck too much. Labyrinth depends on how people build it. I would always give Labyrinth a solid B, because Labyrinth is the kind of the deck that will adapt to the format and will always have a sort of strategy into the new meta decks. Then Nether like kinda hurts this deck, but again, I might give it, I mean, I should give it a C, to be honest, to Labyrinth. I don't think it's very playable, this format. Then we got Mermail Atlantic. For Mermail, we got the new XYZ, that's Abystrite, and then we got Poseidra. I think people are replacing the Coelicant and trying to play a more pure variant. I think Coelicant is fucking broken. You should play that card, no matter what. Because for this format specifically, and we are gonna go over also the Mitsurugi variant, Droll and Luckbird is kinda broken. And if you want to play around Droll and Luckbird, especially with Mermail Atlantic, and you want to have fun and enjoy the game, you should definitely play Coelicant, because the card says, I don't care about Droll. So for Mermail, I kinda like the fact it can push, I kinda like the fact that can play 15 flex spots, maybe even less now with the new Poseidra. It depends, actually, I didn't build the new with the Poseidra yet. Maybe it's a 2 off. I mean, maybe 2 off, 3 off. I saw lists having it as a 3 off, but they were not playing Coelicant. You can easily squeeze 15 flex spots in Mermail. I think it's solid enough. Actually, I actually think it's solid enough, and in my opinion, it deserves a B. Tenpai Dragon, we saw this deck list actually win the Italian Open. We got actually several regional tops, Tenpai Dragon, Finsmith, Kashtira. His deck is not dead, actually. The Dragon decks actually have these this sort of problem. They don't die easily. They don't die easily, like, actually. Like, do you guys remember when we had Dragon Link for several formats, and even though they banned LP, we didn't give a shit, and like, we still were playing a sort of mid-range combo variant? The same applies to Tenpai Dragon. The deck will not die easily. So they are just using right now Tenpai as a sort of sub-engine, and they are mixing it with Finsmith, and they are mixing it with Kashtira, and a lot of Beastials. So, and Beastials are actually broken during this format, and we are gonna approach them when we're gonna make the tier list for Entrops and Board Breakers. But yeah, no, I think the deck is a solid A, actually. Very solid Tenpai Dragon, if you consider the different variants that are being played currently. Tier Elements Finsmith, I mean, The deck is just unplayable in my opinion. I actually do not understand how people can even dream about play this deck. Like, there are so many decks that are way more viable than the Tier Element Fiendsmith deck. Just don't see it. Azamina Rescue Ace, let's not treat it as Azamina Rescue Ace, let's treat it as a Rescue Ace with different engines in general. I think Rescue Ace is dog shit right now. It's actually unplayable. It doesn't have starters, not enough starters. There is no original, so basically you're gonna brick half of the games, and the other half, I don't know what you wanna do with that, but like, we're gonna end on what? We're gonna end on what, bro? There's nothing. Like, just, in my opinion, it's very, very unplayable. Like, it might actually deserve a D. This might actually be the first D of the day. I'm gonna put it in D, actually. I think it's actually that unplayable. I actually think that Snake Eye Azamina Fiendsmith card, it's even better than any version of Rescue Ace. It's actually unplayable in my opinion. I actually tested Rescue Ace because I was like, maybe Rescue Ace, maybe we can do something after the original, but no. You can't. I already coped for you. You don't need to cope. Branded is unplayable right now. I think solid C. For Fiendsmith Kashtira, I think it's a solid B, because Unicorn is such an insane card, but again, there are way better Kashtira variants, there are way better Fiendsmith variants. Also, Kashtira, if we really want to talk about it, Kashtira is very strong when you go first. I don't think it's very strong when you go second. I just don't see the value right now of Kashtira going second. Maybe it works as a bait in Tenpai Dragon because you actually want to push your Chundra, but I don't see, like, except Unicorn when you go first, because Unicorn is broken right now. I don't see it. Ryzeal as Ryzeal Pure. I think Ryzeal Pure is not that crazy. It has an issue in terms of follow-up. But yeah, it's a solid A because Ext is such a broken card. Bonfire is such a broken card. Twins of the Eclipse is the best card for Ryzeal, and it's such a plus for the deck because now the Nether can pop itself, can summon itself back if you have two different force in the graveyard other than Twins of the Eclipse, and like the Exist material that you need to use are 2 XYZ force or 1 XYZ, 1 level 4, because you can treat XYZ force as level force. The card is genuinely broken, is the best Xyz that we got so far, and it has so many lines that can establish multiple layer of interaction in your opponent turns, and also can recycle your XYZ options, so the extra deck becomes, it has so many lines in order to recover XYZ is already used, such as now you can play 1 duo drive. I mean, we were always play 1 duo drive, but like now you can recover the duo drive in the graveyard, and you don't need the field spell in order to do it, which makes the field spell, in my opinion, way more playable than it is right now, because I saw many lists not playing the field spell in the main deck. I mean, Twins of the Eclipse is just broken, and you guys should definitely play a Ryzeal deck if you actually want to have fun, because I think it's so fun to play for multiple turns, play the grind, and outplay your opponent in different scenarios and game states. Such a good archetype, such a good format, and I love it. And that Nether, obviously, is such a broken card. Ryzeal Beastial is something that we saw recently. It was Ryzeal Beastial Fiendsmith, and that's a variant that I saw mostly from European players. They are not even playing duo drive. I don't know how to feel about it, but watching DB Grinder videos talking shit about it, maybe I have a sort of idea on how it looks like and how it works. Not a huge fan, because yes, I understand that, like, you save a space in the extra deck, you don't have to play duo, blah blah blah. But like, there are some situations in which you really need to respect Nibiru, and I think that deck doesn't really respect Nibiru in a good way. Not consistently, at least. So I am not sure about the position. I'm just gonna put it in A for the Beastial variant. For the Finsmith variant, I think it deserves the tier 1 / best deck of our tier list. This deck is amazing. It has a solid follow-up, solid recursion, solid pushes, creates very skilled grind games, and this is probably one of the best formats we ever had, actually. Floor format, in my opinion, are the best for Yu-Gi-Oh! Someone might disagree, someone might agree. I hope you agree with me, because it's so amazing when you get to play 5 turns in Yu-Gi-Oh! And it's not a thing that you will experience through the rest of your journey in this game. Maybe next format is gonna be another 1-turn format and stuff like that, who knows. But this is such a solid format. I actually love the Ryzeal engine. I actually love the Finsmith engine. Someone might complain, oh, Caesar, I hate that card. No, bro, that's like, I understand that there is a sort of hate / consensus behind Caesar and stuff like that. I just cannot hate it. I just love the fact that you can play the grind game with that engine. I just cannot hate it. It's such a good format, and I wanna play this format more and more every day. Like, I'm actually locking in. And that's why you didn't see me streaming a lot, or you didn't see me running a lot of videos, because I just love this format. I just wanna play it. I just wanna enjoy myself. Ryu-Ge. Ryu-Ge is a solid D. Because it runs so many bricks. We got the continuous spells. The field spell is the only amazing thing about this archetype. And the pendulum monster, I guess. But it's not that crazy in my opinion as a deck in general. If you want to play the pure variant, or you want to play the what the people in the OCG are doing, they are playing like 7 bricks. I'm not here to suggest you 7 bricks. I'm here to suggest you the field spell. That field spell is broken. Like, it's beyond it's beyond any human comprehension how Konami can print such a field spell for Yu-Ge and not expecting people to not use it in different decks. I think that field spell is broken, but the rest of the archetype is totally shit and unplayable. For Maliss, we will have actually to talk about it. And some people might start hating me, because I did test every variant of Maliss. Yes, I liked the variant that Pac brought up to the wisest and topped with Maliss Sky Striker, but I don't think it's the best variant. I think for SUDA format, the Sky Striker variant is gonna get worse. I don't think it's playable for SUDA format. I think Maliss Sky Striker is not gonna be broken for that specific format. Even though you might see someone maybe top with it, I don't think it's the best variant to go into that format. Maliss Pure, I would say more like Maliss Beastial Allure and shit. It's gonna be mostly the Pure variant has, in my opinion, more success with Bestials and stuff right now than the actual striker list, because you cannot play breaker going forward, in my opinion. There are some breakers that are actually good, and maybe you might say, Nash, maybe I want to play striker, the list with striker and entraps, and that's why I can put it bottom. I prefer more the Pure variant opposed to the Maliss striker that has been played during this format. But the best variant, in my opinion, is the Maliss Finsmith. Now, you say, Nash, you're playing into Bestials by playing Finsmith, and this deck does not lose to Bestial. I would like to hardly disagree, because you have 3 field spell, 1 terraforming and gold sarcophagus, and those starters lose to 1 Bestial. If you don't want to activate the B11 before, and I don't think you're gonna do it, because then your combo gets infinitely worse, which means that you're gonna play into the Bestial, and you're gonna look stupid when you're gonna realize the Bestials over 50% of the starters of Maliss are actually good. Not considering the 1.5 and 2 card combos of Malice, which obviously don't lose to Beastials, but if we're talking specifically about 1 Terraforming, 3 Field Spell, 1 Sarcophagus, you're gonna run into a Beastial and look stupid, because you don't want to play the Fiendsmith variant, because you think that by playing Fiendsmith, you're gonna play into Beastial. And talking about the Fiendsmith variant, someone might say, Nash, I don't want to play into the new Chammy, because the new Chammy will allow your opponent to draw every time you special summon from the banish pile or from the graveyard, giving them multiple draws. And here is my counterpoint, because if you open Engraver plus any normal summon of Malice, you just give them 2 draws, and you end on a solid Desiree, a solid Binder, or you can also, depending on how you open, you can also end on a solid Crypter with GWC set, and you give them only 2 draws. And that is my counterpoint over the Malice Fiendsmith. In my opinion, it's very worth it, especially because you can use sequence in order as a link to, in order to link climb using Malice names. You have actually game plan under Lancia, while Malice Striker and Malice Pure do not have any game plan under Lancia. You say, no, but if I open the Sky Striker cards, if I open Engage, I can make a link 3. Brother, I can make a link 3 and I can establish an Omni Negation. I don't know why people don't want to play Malice Fiendsmith. I think it's the best absolute variant right now for Malice. And I will die on this hill. I choose my hill to die. I will die on this hill. I think the Malice Fiendsmith variant is the best absolute variant of Malice and plays under Lancia. You actually have a solid gameplay. And I actually also side Lina, so in the mirror I can never lose, because with Fiendsmith I just go Lina and take their Lancia, and then I Lancia them back. So I don't know what to tell you guys. You should definitely play the Malice Fiendsmith variant, and I'm gonna put it in S, and I know that I'm gonna get roasted for it, but you really need to try that out, because I think it's the absolute best variant. By far. And yeah, Pac bullied me, saying he doesn't like it. Jib bullied me, saying he doesn't like it. I actually like it a lot. I don't know, like, we have a strong disagreement over this variant. So I will die on this hill. I decide. It's like, if I have to die on an hill, this will be my hill to die, because I think this shit is actually very close to be one of the best deck of the format. Obviously, the Ryzeal Fiendsmith deck is better. I'm not saying that Malice Fiendsmith is better. I'm actually saying that Ryzeal Fiendsmith is the best deck, and right after it, you got Malice Fiendsmith. And I think that you guys should really try it out, and let me know in the comment section below on how you feel about it. I know I spent most of this video talking about this deck because I really needed to I just really needed a safe space in order to share my thoughts, so no one is gonna attack me, you know, like I just wanted to give my honest opinion. Then I don't think I'm wrong. I really don't think I'm wrong, but I really want to give my honest opinion on what I think. And then if it turns out to be wrong, fuck it. Malice Kashtira is the absolute worst variant of Malice in my opinion. It's not playable. The going second is very bad. Fiendsmith with a magical musket, solid B. Voiceless Voice, solid C. Goblin Bikers Fiendsmith, actually for Goblin Bikers Fiendsmith, it actually counters the Ryzeal decklist, but people need to know how to play against this deck, okay? Like, they play mostly board breakers, and in order to play against the Goblin Bikers variant, literally all you need to do is waste your effect. You need to detach from your shit as soon as possible. Yeah, a solid B. I think it's a solid counter pick. Ryzeal Mitsurugi. We saw Thrift popping off on it. We saw people winning 1,000 of dollars in Iron Man using this deck list. And if you resolve the ritual spell of Mitsurugi, the game is over on the spot. Like we got Ameno, Dorime, Ameno. We got Ameno, which is the best ritual monster that I ever saw. The ritual spell of Mitsurugi is actually super broken because you can use both of the effects. You can ritual summon from your hand or ritual summon from your deck by tributing the monsters in your hand or in your deck, depending on which one you choose, and you can use it twice. So and there is a combo to recover it. We got Futsu, we got Ameno, we got the trap that is searchable by the rotation. That combo doesn't lose to Nibiru. The Ameno like just gets rid of your opponent cards, and if you resolve the ritual spell, the game is actually over on the spot. Like that deck is, in my opinion, a solid choice and one of the best deck actually. Then we got Azamina Mitsurugi. I B only because it's in my opinion, Azamina Mitsurugi, it's not even playable. I don't know how people can actually decide to play such a variant of the Mitsurugi card when there is imps like they exist for that can search any reptile monster. Why would you not mix it with Ryzeal? It's beyond comprehension, but people like to cope. So I'm just gonna give it a C because I really don't see this variant playable. Finsmith Mitsurugi, for the same reason, I don't see where the Finsmith are doing something for the Mitsurugi engine. There is no bridge. I guess there is a sort of bridge if you are playing double Lacrima, but then you have to go -1 and you have to open the engraver in order to establish double Lacrima on the board, because you need to normal summon a Lacrima. Yeah, it's engraver, add Tractus, add a Lacrima, discard another card, normal summon Lacrima, send another engraver, activate engraver in the graveyard, special summon itself, and then you're gonna go into the Requiem and Requiem into second Lacrima for an X4, but you already wasted your normal summon. I guess if you wanna talk about synergy, that is the best synergy you can get for Mitsurugi in order to establish an imps, in order to search any reptile monster in the game. For this variant, like I do not understand why people are actually coping on different variants when, like at least the Ogdodic one, right? Like, because if I see the Ogdodic one, then it makes sense to me. Because Ogdodic is actually the best, Ogdodic and Ryzeal are the best archetypes to mix Mitsurugi with. Because Ogdodic tributes foolish reptiles, reborn reptiles, okay? So that's like that. There is so much synergy there, and it also gives you XYZ for in order to establish an imps to search any reptile. I think Ogdodic and Ryzeal are the best bridges for the deck. Or like otherwise, like I would not consider anything else, to be honest. If you wanna mix the deck with different engines, you should probably try Ogdodic and Ryzeal, or even both together, which actually is a variant that I tested. Like it's very resilient. Unfortunately, it's at least a 50 card deck list, and people say that I was copying on it. I like to test. Okay, I like to test. Someone might define it as a waste of time. But I enjoy the game as it is, and I like to try different variants, experiment different decks, combos, synergies. I enjoy these games too much, maybe. For Crystron, I actually like the deck. I am not sure if I would position it as a top B or bottom A. I think I can see this deck list actually performing. Loses to Lancia. Yeah, probably it's gonna be fine. I think it's a solid deck list. It got an insane boost in SUDA. Like we got Clockwork Knight, which is basically the new Link one for Machine Monster. Kind of insane in my opinion, because it makes Tiger a one card combo, normal summon Tiger a full like one card combo actually. Sulfudol, again. Free extender, sends Crystron cards to the graveyard in order to accomplish the combo. 3 Stalos and Inclusion. They are all broken cards, and like if you want to talk about recovery, the new continuous card, which is basically Crystron Cluster, it's also a pop too. Okay, so it has a good amount of 1-card combo starters, solid follow-up. Unfortunately, this deck loses to Dweller, which in my opinion should be banned and hopefully will be banned, and it's also a part of the Ryzeal end board. Again, I hate lingering effects, and Dweller is one of those. But we are getting in there slowly, but we are getting there, and I think Konami is actually Konami for TCG is actually doing a very good job for our TCG ban list and how they are managing those formats. And I'm actually, for the first time, I cannot complain. I really cannot complain. I actually like what they are doing. For Arcana Force, actually unplayable. Another D actually. Memento could be an A. It's actually the only deck that can play so many board breakers. They are also all functional with the archetypes such as Foolish Burial Goods that can send Goat Laughs. In my opinion, it's such a good board breaker right now. Ultimate Slayer can play also Metaltronus. I kinda like Memento right now. I'm actually not against Memento, but again, I think I actually like it, but I'm gonna give it top B, maybe bottom A. I'm gonna give it a top B. Not sure about if I wanna place it at bottom A or not. I kinda wanna give more space to the new archetypes on decks, except for Tenpai fucking Dragon that survived somehow. Fire King unplayable, Flounder is unplayable. Centurion solid C. We got Shorazo, which is basically a way to get into a Tanner by using the Finsmith engine. Again, Finsmith are just better in terms of grind and follow-up. I'm not sure how to position right now Centurion. I feel like it should deserve a B if you mix it with Finsmith. But the archetype is so bad in terms of pushes going second that I will give it a C. Okay, so Melodius, I'm gonna give it a C. A lot of, like, can play a lot of entraps, so why not giving it a C? Argo Star, absolutely unplayable. This deck is literally amazement, basically. It does not have enough names. My opinion, it's so bad it's crazy on how they can still print such dog shit decks. But hey, we needed some pack fillers, I guess. Salamangretto, I'm gonna give it a C. Hero, solid actually. Okay, for Hero we got actually some amazing support. We got the Evil Hero Dead End Prison, we got a Nomini Negation with Dark Supremacy, and we got the Neos Lord, which is Evil Hero Neos Lord, which is in my opinion like actually insane. It's basically a Snatch Steal. Finally Hero can end on a Nomini Negation. The Prison is... And now, if you open Increase, it's not a brick anymore. It's actually crazy. Not sure on how to feel about it. Again, like, the deck has so much hope, or at least I had so much hope. I'm gonna give it a B. It's a B because I tested it, but not in... Like, I actually just studied the archetype, played the game with it, just to see how it feels. Felt okay. I'm gonna give it a B just because I love Hero. And I wanna be an hero tonight for you. Just, like, I'm gonna give it a B because I love heroes. And hopefully, this is gonna be the set that is gonna make it playable. For Speedroid, we got some new synchros. I think it's also a new starter. Like, we got Clakernel and the Speedroid with Synchron. And then for the Synchro, we got Glider second, I think it's called. And Crystal Clear Wing over Synchro Dragon. I think the deck is still far from being a meta deck. The new card did not really address the issue of this archetype, which means that it's gonna right now, and like I'm still hopeful. Like it's playable. It is definitely playable, so I'm gonna give it a C. Like if a deck is slightly playable or playable, I'm gonna give it a C. White Forest Azamina Finsmith. It's actually, in my opinion, a solid variant that deserves. Could be. I'm gonna give it a B because of the cost of the White Forest. Yes, guys, you are not gonna always open perfectly with Azamina, and also going second feels so weird. So yeah, Hero is gonna stay bottom B because I like Hero. Just a personal bias. Please allow it to me. Allow it. Allow me to have a sort of personal bias. Beastial Finsmith, solid in my opinion, very solid, but it's still a counter pick. If it's only Beastial Finsmith, I'm gonna give it a B. Unchained Finsmith, if it has Finsmith, it has to be a B, except for the Mitsurugi variant, which is dog shit. And for Ritual Beast, I think it is very unplayable. Actually, I actually think it's unplayable. Like, you could give it a C. I'm gonna give it a C because even though I think the deck is unplayable, again, like the combo when it resolves is solid. Protoss line and shit like that. But I don't think this deck can perform well, even at a local level. Actually, I actually don't think even at the local level you can actually perform with Ritual Beast. That's it, I guess, for this video. Leave in the comment section below your opinions about my choices. If you think a deck should be downgraded or upgraded on my tier list, your opinion on the matter, and if I missed any deck list. Let's have a discussion, brothers and sisters. Let's have a discussion. Let's talk about it. Love you all, and I'll see you next time.